genius. We're just in your world living.
Finally realized.
You got the room by yourself. Come on, ask the question. All right, go ahead, guys.
That 7-minute, 37-minute drive in the second half right now, do you feel like that actually showed the identity of your team, the offense especially?
Yeah, I think we have a physical football team, and the team we just played. They're a really good football team. They've won a lot of games, and so I thought that was awesome to be able to do that and be able to go get points off of that and take the time off the clock. Well executed. Great job by Kellen. Great job by Jalen executing that. That's not always the easiest thing when you're taking the clock down. And then unbelievable job in our run game, and we threw the ball when we needed to. So good job there.
You look at DeVonta Smith, the way he bounced back this week. I know you say ebbs and flows with those three guys, but
sure.
How do you describe his performance today? Yeah,
he made clutch catches. Not a surprise. I mean, the last time he was shut out in a game, he had 1 for -2 last week, but the last time he was shut out in a game, he came back and had, I think, like 8 for 176. Like, that's the way the game goes. That's why you can't overreact when things happen. And proud of him and the things that he stands for and the way he puts his head down and works and tunes out everything else.
Nick, I'm sure there's things you're going to want to work from this game, but it's one of the more complete performances you guys have had in a while. What was it like in the locker room after that time?
Yeah, it was exciting. It's hard to win in this league. Doesn't matter if you win by what we won by today. You win by 1, you win by 2. You're going to be excited. We put everything we have into this every single week. It really takes truly mentally tough people to be involved in this game where you pour every ounce of what you have into each week, and then you win or you lose, and you do it again. And you do that 17 times. And so proud of these guys of how mentally tough they are. And when you win, you feel it and you're excited about it, regardless of how you win.
You scored on opening possessions for both halves, 3 touchdowns in a row on possession. What was tightened up on offense today?
Yeah, it was just the way some things go. I wouldn't say anything. We did anything particularly different. We just executed on our first drive.
We saw more under center for the second straight week, a little more play action. Was that all by design?
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
And is that more you trying to find the identity of this offense, or do you think that
I think the identity of this football team is physical, and that's what we're going to try to play by each week is physical. Now when you say physical, that doesn't mean you have to run it every time. You run it, you pass it. You can be physical in both aspects. On the long touchdown pass to DeVonta, Jack Stoll was physical on that block on the perimeter. Wait till you see that one again, where you're watching Jack Stoll block the perimeter and giving Jalen enough time to make a perfect throw and Smitty to make a big time catch. And so, physical identity gets overblown. I really believe that. Like, what's the identity? What's the identity? I tell you, I've told you guys this a bunch. Like, our identity is play with great detail. Our identity is to play physical with toughness, and our identity is play together. And everything else changes week to week. So that's going to change each and every week.
There's 2 seasons about closing games. What was the difference in terms of the way you closed the game tonight?
Again, I think, we were able to create 2 turnovers. Isaiah made a great, and then, Isaiah steps in for Slay. I don't have a report on Slay yet. Hopefully he's okay. But Isaiah steps in for Slay, going against one of the best receivers in the NFL, and makes a play on the ball that allows Chauncey to pick the ball. And then, then Zach gets a fumble, and we've been pretty good when we've won the double pods or when we've won the turnover battle here. And then the long drive by the offense to take that much time off the clock. Like I said, Kellen did a great job calling it. Jalen did a great job of, just managing the clock. That's not an easy thing when you're trying to bleed the clock, because there's different things involved, and it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of, presence like Jalen had up there at the line of scrimmage. And Jalen just, I thought Jalen had a really good game, made throws, in big-time moments in that drive, and, big-time throws to put us up 7 and then to put us up, even more. I thought it was a great play. We made the slant pass that he made to AJ, that got us into comfortable field goal range to put us up 10. So a lot of credit. Obviously, all the credit always going to go to the players. They played their butts off, and they played really hard, and they played really physical.
Why do you think Jalen has been so efficient since the bye? I don't think he's had a turnover. His passer rating is like 130 for 3 games, and it's pretty steady. Why do you think he's been so efficient in the last 3 games, maybe compared to the first 4?
Yeah, Jalen puts the work in. Like that's something that doesn't get talked about enough for Jalen Hurts. The amount of time, how much he loves football, and how much time he puts into this game. And that's how you want one of your leaders on your team to be is the time he puts into this game. And so we were able to look at some of the things that we were inefficient on, and some of the things that we were good on, and he just put so much work into it. And you're a product of how you practice, and he's been I know you guys only get to see a little portion of practice, but he's been practicing his butt off. I don't know if the ball on Thursday on our long practice, I'm not sure the ball hit the ground. And so that was, it's the work. There is no secret to success, right? It's the habits, it's your habits, it's your work ethic. The same things it took to win this game is going to be the same things it takes next game. Success takes what it takes.
Down 2 starters, had the O-line, specifically Fred and Tyler do.
Yeah, I think you got to be really excited about those two, right? Fred steps in again and has a good game, and Tyler comes in and did some really good things. And so I think you got to be, obviously we'll look at the tape. It's hard to see. Sometimes it's really hard to see how an offensive lineman plays live. So we'll watch that tape on the way back. But I don't know. I thought that. Yeah, good job by the offensive staff. When you have a player of that caliber, because that guy's a stud, and when you have a player of that caliber, you put a lot of emphasis. You think about him a lot. You think about him an awful lot, and offensive staff did a great job of making the game plan around him. And Fred did a great job when he was left, in solo situations with him. So that always takes both. That always takes the coaches putting them in the right positions and the players going out and being able to execute. We knew that with 91, it wasn't going to just be a one-man job, right? Fred was going to have to do it a lot of the times for the majority of the times, and then other guys were going to have to help as well.
What did you make of the defensive game plan and the conversation that were happening after regrouping after kind of the start at the beginning of the
Yeah, I mean, again, just dog mentality. The games start off different ways every once in a while, and no one's in a panic mode when they go down and score. I think they had some good 3rd down conversions. I think a lot of that is the Joe Burrow's a hell of a football player, and Chase was Jamar Chase was able to get a lot of plays there as well, and Gesicki, and so they got good players. We knew they were going to make plays. We talked about that last night. Good stuff's going to happen today, and some bad stuff's going to happen today, and how do you respond? And it's always going to be about your response.
Couple more? When you get a stop on a 4th down, on a turnover on downs, what is conversation coming out of that? Approach offense?
Yeah, we treat that as like a turnover, so you're excited. It's hard, So I even know we were +2 on the turnover battle today. We'll treat it as +3 because any 4th down stop is huge. So, I mean, Brandon Graham and Nakobe really filled the gap on the 3rd down to put him in that. Actually, it started on 2nd down where Zach Bond had a big hit. I mean, you could feel that hit. You could feel the physicality of that hit that Zach had on the 2nd down to put him in 2nd one. Then BG crushes the edge. Nakobe, again, I obviously haven't watched it yet, but like Nakobe filling the gap there. And then I think it was Coop, right, on the tackle, and just way to come down from the, and make the play right there. I didn't see if we got pressure or not. You guys would be able to tell me that better. But, sound fundamentals. I think at the end of the day, good players playing with good fundamentals equals good plays. That's in the tackling. That's in taking the ball away. That's in protecting the football. I think a lot said about, Jalen protecting the football, and he's done an unbelievable job. But how about how good Saquon's done, touching the ball? I think they were ripping at the ball. I thought AJ had a really good one on a long catch where he really secured the football. He's worked it. AJ, man, is a stud. He's worked his butt off to improve anything that he thinks is AJ's one of the best players I've ever coached, and he works his butt off to improve anything that he feels is something that he's got to get better at, and that we feel like he's got to get better at. And so, again, good players playing fundamentally sound is what we're trying to be our identity of what we do, and we'll continue again those habits to be successful at those habits. It's going to take work and practice.
All right, last one. You've joked in the past about being superstitious. You're 3-0 since you shaved your head. A big deal was made of it.
I buzzed my head.
Buzzed.
All right, shave's a lot different. All right.
Keep it. You're gonna keep it shaved and then keep it.
I don't know. My wife doesn't really like it, so yeah.
All right, thanks.